Yeah, now that we're talking about Sonic, this is the time to start the episode. So we're going to begin with your Shadow impression, then we'll go with mine.
Okay. Heard that.
Do it.
Is this going to be on your YouTube channel?
This is got to be on the secondary YouTube channel, yes.
Oh, secondary? Okay. What's your channel? Like Cirrus Gaming? Is that the second one?
Second one's Nekosaurus.
Oh, Nekosaurus, okay. It all starts with this. A subscriber for Nekosaurus. Thank you for coming to the channel.
This faker thinks he's me.
Not bad.
That one didn't come out as well as it did. I didn't. Damn it! I should have actually done voice prep before doing Shadow the Hedgehog.
That's not bad.
It's closer to Seto Kaiba though.
Yeah. A point there.
Coming to theaters near you, my 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons.
Holy shit! That actually. Oh man. Oh, sick. Yeah, I can't do any more voices.
I'm not gonna do the Alex Jones voice, Tiss. I'm not doing that. Actually, no, fine, I'll do it. Eggman keeps turning the frickin' frogs gay!
They're putting chemicals in the water.
Putting chemicals in the water and turning Froggy gay! So there we go. There's how we're beginning a discussion about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Perfect. I don't think there's any, we could have planned this intro out, and it would not have gone as well.
It would not. Opinion. It would not have. It really wouldn't. This is the beauty of live content, everybody. Sometimes it's all chaos. Okay, so for those of you who do not know who Trey Nobles is, if you're coming over to the Nekosaurus channel and you're not familiar with, say, Sunset City or Sonic and Tails R, Trey is actually the owner of the Trey Nobles channel. He does a ton of Sonic the Hedgehog and other music over on that channel, which I would highly recommend going over to and subscribing to. He's also been a guest over on Sunset City and has done several of the compositions for Emu Emmy over with the Sonic and Tails R series, as well as several of the acoustic songs that have gone up on that channel as well. So you've got... And there's also other projects you've done too, so you've got quite a storied history here.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. You don't really realize how much you've done until, you start kind of, I guess listing it out, and it's no, I have done a good bit, and I'm very thankful to be where I'm at, even though I consider myself more of a backgrounds guy, if that makes sense, where it's I help in terms of operations and some things. I'm not necessarily up in the forefront, and that's even in my real life too. I play drums and guitar for bands. I'm never the front of the stage, but I kind of like that because it takes a lot of the pressure off of is my Wi-Fi going out? Oh crap.
No, you're fine. I do have to say one thing before you continue though. Ocean Keltoy, thank you very much for the raid. I don't even have to ask what you guys were doing there. I know you were doing Diablo 2. I know it. I saw. Thank you all for coming over. Oh no, Trey's dead.
Hold on, I'm so sorry. Wi-Fi is going out.
He's dying.
I'm dying. Just make my voice out stuttery and put a phaser on it. And, I'm dying. But no. Can you hear me now though?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I guess to reiterate what I was saying, basically it takes a lot of the pressure off of myself being the backgrounds guy because I don't have to worry about being up front. Even though I still represent the people that I work with, I'm not the main focus of that, and of course I'm very thankful when someone does take the time to notice what I have done. It's oh, you did very great on this acoustic song for starters and stuff like that. You did great on this composition and everything, but in the moment type stuff, especially in Sonic and Tails R, because we have we do the premiere.
Yeah.
You never really see anyone. I don't want to say you never do, but more oftentimes than not, no one's focused on the music in the background. They're more focused on the voice actors and the story and all that stuff. So, but I am thankful that people are taking notice of some of the stuff that I've done, and I don't know. It's just been a fun ride. I can't really complain.
Understandable. I've had the I know what it's like to be responsible for some of the stuff working in the background, and there's certainly a, I guess almost like a Zen-like feeling to it, where you're like, okay, I just have to do my job and do it well. Talking to everybody else, it's not a thing I really have to do. I just have to do my thing, and it feels good.
Exactly.
But what we're here to talk about is not necessarily, what we've done on various other channels, what we've done on our channels. What we're here to do is talk about a blue hedgehog, because the idea behind this series that I'm going to be doing on my channel is I grab other creators and sit down and have a chat with them about a game series. And it can be practically any game series. So, like, today we're talking with Trey about Sonic the Hedgehog. And next week, on Wednesday, we're going to be bringing Skycam, the shark, on, and we're going to be talking about Pokemon over there. So for those of you who are fans of Skycam, that's when we're going to be having our second collaboration happening over there. So I guess what I really want to know right now is, like, what's drawn you to this character? Because if there's anything I can say, the Sonic fandom is nothing if not a very, very contentious animal. So
Yeah.
there's obviously something that's drawn you into it. There's obviously something that's, made you want to stay and continue doing things with it. And there's obviously something that drew you into it in the first place. So I guess let's talk about that, because that's something that I want to get into a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I think I actually briefed this a little bit at Sunset City, but considering that not everyone watched that, I'll go into even more detail. But basically, I'll say this right off the bat: Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was the first video game I ever played. So even from picking up a controller, Sonic was the first one there, pretty much. It was Sonic 2 isn't what drew me into the series. What actually drew me into the series, I was 6 years old, and my dad was a youth pastor at a church. And with youth pastors, they always try to grab the newest game systems and set them up and everything, and almost have them kiosks in the gym or something.
Yeah.
Which is how it was set up there. By the way, can you still hear me? I gotta reiterate. Okay, just gotta make sure. But anytime there's silence, I kind of get a little paranoid because I don't know if my Wi-Fi just cut out. But
no, I'm just listening.
Okay, sick. But yeah, no. So my dad was a youth pastor, and he had a Dreamcast set up on the CRT, and he had one of those generator demo discs. It was the first one, and it had, I want to say, Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It had Power Stone. It had Ready to Rumble, and it had Sonic Adventure. And I remember, what is it? I remember playing through the demo of Sonic Adventure, almost constantly. Anytime I would be in that gym with the Dreamcast, I would just play Sonic Adventure, watch the intro over and over again, play through Emerald Coast. Everything about it was just this is really cool to me. This is super cool. It's super fun. I was, even at 6 years old, I was learning all the shortcuts that you could do in Emerald Coast, where it's you spin dash off of the bridge at the bottom, gets the bridge on top, stuff like that. And I just kind of fell in love with how the vibe of the game was, the music, especially the music, and all that stuff. And I think that's what drew me into the series. Now, in terms of what has made me stay, honestly, I didn't know that Sonic had an online community for the longest time.
The reason you stayed is because you were blissfully ignorant.
I was just ignorant at first, because I up until around I want to say 2017, really 2018, I wasn't really that active on Twitter or any social media platforms. I didn't really do YouTube. It wasn't until oddly enough, I was on Twitter and I followed Amy Jones, and she needed a new guitarist. And I was like, oh, sick. I'll throw the one cover that I did on my channel back then to her, see what she thinks. She probably won't even see it, but it's fine. Throw my shot up there.
And then that's not what happened.
That's not what happened at all. She ended up writing me back. She told me that she had to stalk my Twitter in order to make sure I was a good person.
I mean, to be fair, There are reasons for that.
I know the reasons, and I'm not going to go into detail because it's not my place, right? But like, I know the reasons as to why. But like, if she told me that back then, because I was a big fan of hers before I started working with her, I would have shit my pants. Because just like, what? Like, why? Why would you basically stalk my social media? But anyways, I get why, but it was just really funny.
It's called responsible platforming.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially if you're like, because at that time she was around, I want to say 13,000 subscribers. I want to say, in my channel, and she took a screen cap of it whenever like she was sending it over to people at the time. My channel was at 69 subscribers. So
nice.
Nice indeed. It was the magic number for me to start.
There is no better number except the funny sex number. Let's be honest.
For sure.
So I guess pretty much you ended up blissfully unaware for long enough, and then finally just went, oh well, I guess if I'm just going to be roped in the most ropey of rope ways, then it might as well be this way where I'm helping make music.
Well, yeah, like that's oddly enough how I got into the online community was just through Emmy and her audience, and then I just started meeting other people in the community, and everyone kind of knows each other. It's kind of crazy because, like, I am thankful that I did end up joining the community kind of late. I didn't go full on headfirst into it until around like 2018. But yeah, like, it's cool that everyone knows each other. But then, like, me being the person I am, I like to just make a lot of friends with a lot of people, and then I don't realize that a lot of people have history with each other that like kind of conflicts and everything. So it does get kind of weird in that aspect. But
that's how it is with all.
I guess what keeps me in the community ultimately is the fact that I am able to make an impact in some way and make music that I just enjoy making and would listen to in my own time.
I mean, I can't say that I've listened to it in my own time, so I mean, you're not wrong there. Kimori says in the chat, incidentally ropey roadway sounds like a classic Sonic level.
Yo, yes.
That sounds like a level in Sonic CD. You know, what's up?
Oh, my bad. I was just going to say, it sounds like a cut level. It sounds like a level that was going to be in Sonic Extreme. Just because of the fish islands and whatnot, yeah.
We'll go to Ropey Ropeway, where you have to balance on ropes in 3D, because apparently old school 3D games, one of the favorite puzzles of old school 3D platformers I've noticed going through and playing them again is, how can we make you balance on this one area whilst also fighting with the camera?
Oh, bro, it was so, like, revolutionary. It's just like, oh my gosh, I can balance? It's like, shit, you can.
When I was playing through Banjo-Kazooie again, and there's a section in Bubble Gloop Swamp where you're having to run up on this like elevated path, and if you fall, you just fall into the swamp water. It's not a huge deal, but there's a timed jiggy you have to get there, and the final part of it is this like really zigzagged walkway, and what the game wants you to do is balance on the zigzagged walkway that has like 2 inches of walking space, and you have to do it perfectly. Maybe it's just the adult in me that says I don't have time for that. I just get to that point and I jump over and like float my way down to the jiggy. I'm just like, nope. Oh, screw this balancing act. Nobody likes this.
It's the same thing. Like it's not even just 3D platforms, but also like Doom 2 had like one level where you had to balance on like these very tiny like walls. And Doom was weird when it did 3D. Everyone knows it wasn't like true 3D or whatever.
3D, yeah.
But like you still had to balance on these very like tiny like walls almost in order to get across and everything. And people have you see speed runs of that and it kind of blows your mind because it's like, what? How is this even possible?
Especially because with Doom, wasn't it that because it was an old WASD game, if you ran at an angle, it counted both your forward and your horizontal inputs at the same time, and it basically doubled your speed, didn't it? Or did that start with Quake?
In terms of WASD being the norm, that started with Quake. But I think some of the some of the physics that you mentioned probably are prevalent in Doom. At the very least, Doom 2, which is where the level takes place. I'm not too terribly sure. I know that in the old like MS-DOS version, it was like arrow keys and spacebar, where spacebar I think was shoot.
It was that way with the old version of Duke Nukem as well, to be fair. Because like the old school version of Duke Nukem still made you use the DOS version at least made you use the arrow keys. You had to get a patch in order to get the mouse to work with it.
Yeah, that's cool that it did. Oh, hold on. Okay. Sorry about that. Can you still hear me, by the way?
I can still hear you.
Okay. But yeah, it was weird in Duke Nukem's case because the build engine, you could look up and down, but it looked like a funhouse. Like none of the stuff like drew properly. So you look up and the buildings just stretched out and whatnot. It was very weird. But I don't know. I really like early 3D stuff. Like really fascinates me. And I think that's why I drew so close to like Sonic Adventure as a kid, because like at that point, like I was only born in '95, so like whenever I was 6, it was 2001, and Dreamcast was pretty much dead at that point, and GameCube and PS2 and Xbox were the norm, and they looked like miles better. They looked.
You're dying. You okay?
I know. Aren't we all dying?
A little bit, just a little bit.
just a tad. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, like I'm going to throw
your phone
across the room.
It's doing its best.
I'm going to throw it across the room.
Jesus Christ!
It needs to do better. All right. Oh man. But anyways, so sorry about that.
It's all right. Fox.
I don't know how hard this is going to be to like edit out.
Well, this is going up as a full segment. It's not getting edited at all. So.
Oh, sick. Okay, great. Hey everyone, now you can broadcast my terrible Wi-Fi to everyone. Let's go.
Also, apparently, Hanako just hopped into the chat, so I just wanted to say hi to Hanako. She's a Strawberry Dragon VTuber. And Fox of Fate redeemed their points for an Ara, you fucking monster. Okay, here we go.
Hey, can y'all not do that? I'm wearing headphones.
No, we have to make Trey violently uncomfortable.
No, please. Oh, you're here to talk about Sonic, not to be attempted to be aroused. But
wait, hold on. You've been in the Sonic community long enough to know that there's functionally no difference between the two of those things.
Thank you all for dropping in. Hey, I'm Trey. I'm a musician. I play guitar kind of good.
You don't play guitar kind of good. You play guitar phenomenally. Shut the fuck up. Stop this self-deprecating nonsense. Only I'm allowed to do that around here.
Oh, come on. There's enough to go around.
There is. I'm sure there's enough to go around, but it doesn't mean I'm giving it to you. I'm greedy.
Okay, fair. Yeah, okay. I'll let you. It's your channel, so I'll let you have it. All right, it's fine. But anyways, yeah, no, I think like that's why I drew to Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast, is because like I just like I like the look of early 3D. I don't know if it's something that I've always liked or something that I kind of grew into over time, but there's just a lot of charm to it, and it's the same kind of like charm that a lot of people saw in like the Atari. And like, bear with me, it's like you had to use your imagination to kind of fill in the gaps a lot of the times. And that's how I feel with like early 3D stuff a lot of times, because you look at like a textured face on GoldenEye and it's like, what is that supposed to be? It's like a face.
It is my emotions, John. They are painted on my face.
Or like NBA Jam, where it's just one texture on their face, doesn't change. But no, like I don't know. I just like the way that they were able to pull off stuff back in the day with like limited hardware and whatnot, and like even up until like Sonic Adventure 2, that ran on 60 on the Dreamcast with the VGA compatibility, which is like a godsend, because like that junk's hard to do. And even like a lot of Dreamcast games, I didn't know this until I start buying some more Dreamcast games, but a lot of them aren't even VGA compatible, which kind of stinks.
Oh?
Yeah, like you enter in a game. If you have the VGA cable hooked up to it, it gives you a warning that says this game's not compatible with this cable. Enter an AV cable, and I'm like,
that just sounds like a pain in the rear.
I'm literally gonna buy a second Dreamcast just to hook up to AV.
Jesus
that way I don't
Christ.
have to keep like unhooking up and like hooking it back in and all this stuff. I love the Dreamcast. It's my favorite console of all time. So like,
You're just gonna have two Dreamcasts, one for AV and one for
VGA. Yeah, that's normal.
I
Is
mean,
that normal?
That's functionally no different to what I do with my Switch. Like we have 2 Switches in this house, but we have 4 Switch docks.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense because a dock is made to be bought separately, and you could just hook it up and plop it wherever.
I mean, yes, but it's the same level of laziness to me. It's all about not wanting to grab the wires and put them back in the proper places.
Well, I have a little bit of an explanation. It's like whenever you unplug stuff from the back of the Dreamcast, sometimes that deteriorates over time. And considering this is like nearing 25-year-old hardware, like I want these things to be alive for as long as they can.
True.
So I don't want to keep unplugging that. It's why like for a lot of my older consoles, I have like EverDrives and whatnot into them because I'm lazy, but also hooking in cartridges over and over again does wear out the pins. And that's just natural.
That's just how that technology works. Hanako in the chat pointed out, mentioned Project 06, which I have not had a chance to play yet. I was wondering if you had a chance to play it yet.
Ooh, yes, it's okay. So I don't hate 06 as much as other people do. At the same time, though, I don't really love 06 either. But I have played Project 06 or P06, and it actually is pretty phenomenal. It controls, and I guess this is just coming from me who like played 06 a lot as a kid, but I can feel a difference. Now, of course, like other people who've never played 06, they're not really going to understand like why this is a big deal, I guess, like Project 06. But it's made by one person.
I wasn't aware of that.
Like,
I thought that there was actually like a small team there.
I want to say it's mainly made by one person, but other people have probably joined the project over time. I know it used to be just one person. And it's a Unity engine remake of Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, and basically the main fixes are just overall polish. Control's a big one because Sonic was like overly heavy and also overly light in certain areas. Like whenever you jump as Sonic in 06, the base game, he is very sluggish, but you put Sonic on the ground and he's super like sensitive. So that like this game,
he's like a paper bag. He's like a paper bag on the ground, but when you jump, it's like you have a rock.
Yeah. Do you ever feel? But yeah, no. But yeah, pretty much. It's like like some people are gonna find this comparison stupid, but like how the jumping feels in the base game 06 is like a worse version of how the first Crash Bandicoot game handled jumps.
Oh, how you like you snap up into the air almost.
Yeah, like well, it's like almost like you have. Let's take the rock analogy. It's like you have a string and you have a rock. You tie the string around the rock, right? And by the way, am I still here? I saw like a red bar. Anyways, okay, cool. Is there going to be a counter in the top like right of like how many times I say that?
It's going to be like the Krillin owned counter. Except it's going to be, Trey.
Pretty much.
Trey freaks out counter 27.
Yeah, Trey. Am I still here? Counter. But no, like how jumping feels in Crash Bandicoot is like you have by the string, pick up the rock, and put it to like the next platform. Like that's how jumping felt for me. So like in '06, it was almost like a worse version of that, pretty much. But in Project '06, a lot of it is just a lot more balanced out, a lot more ironed out. You have more control in the air as well, which is super nice. And the Mach speed sections, you have practically full control. It's just the game just pushes you forward because it's a Mach speed section, right?
Yeah.
I like Project '06. If anyone played Sonic 06 and didn't like it, try Project '06 out. I think it's worth your time.
I still need to give it a shot. It's on my list of things to do. What's also on my list of things to do is to go ahead and get ArieXD's points redeemed. Thank you very much for your 500 channel points for an oh well. There we go.
Well.
All of the episode is done with all of its cringe intact. That is how it works.
Oh, perfect.
Popped fresh out of the microwave for everyone. So I guess for me, I need to play Project '06 because I found myself actually enjoying '06 a lot, playing it as an adult. When I played it when I was younger, I hated it. It was like the worst thing in the world. Playing it now as an adult, I don't hate it anymore. And it feels weird that especially levels like say Crisis City or the train level, like are levels that glitches aside, I really, really enjoy. The Crisis City is better without its 4 loading screens, but you get the point, you get the idea. But it's not a game that I actually hate the same way that I used to. And maybe it's just that like that era, that brand of Sonic that existed back then, that was basically the end of the adventure era. Like the melodramatic, grandiose, gigantic in scope stories ended with '06.
Right.
And
yeah, pretty much. Like Unleashed still carried that torch a little bit longer, but it was a lot like
it downsized.
A lot of people say that
it downsized in the character department, even if it was like larger geographically.
It really did. Yeah, and like a lot of people don't really mention this, but like I love Unleashed, as well. I don't know if that's still controversial or whatever, but I do love Unleashed. But the story is like really strong at the start, really strong at the end, but there's like nothing in between. There's like not really much story in between the high beginning and the high end of Unleashed. So I think they were trying to be more reserved after '06, and then we got Sonic and Black Knight, which is also pretty good. Then that's where Sonic Colors kind of came from. Doing it that way, where it's a little bit just stories, almost like secondary.
Yeah,
right. Secondary. It's
It's amazing to consider the fact that at its core, Sonic Colors is a game about slavery, and yet that. But if this was the adventure era, that story would have been pushed to its forefront way more than what it is in Sonic Colors. Like in Sonic Colors, it's like there's the one scene where you get like you understand what's happening, but it's for 30 seconds and then it's gone, and then it's back to a joyful romp after that point.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and like I think we mentioned this before, but it's like a lot of, I guess you could call it kids media. They do cover a lot of real issues. It's just how it's executed is how things are able to be easily digested. Yeah. And Colors, like, that execution is almost like just mashed potatoes without gravy. It's like anyone can eat it, but like, is it that enjoyable? Not really.
Yeah, it's a story that is wonderful to read about, especially in that it has like ramifications going forward for the entire Sonic series. Like without Colors, Whisper as a character wouldn't exist. Without Colors, we wouldn't have the Wisps taking place in any of the other games. Like it's a game that has long-term ramifications for the series, but it's so awkward that like that game that had so much to carry forward, the story was a nothing burger compared to compared to like Unleashed, where the story, aside from its issues in the middle, like Unleashed has this grandiose story, nowhere near the same like scope in terms of characters as previous games were. Like even
Right.
Adventure 1 had a grander scope in terms of the amount of characters that it was willing to play with.
Yep.
But like, despite that game being as big as it was, what ramifications have there been from Unleashed going forward? Not really any. Like at the end of Adventure, there's the end of Adventure. We understand a little more about how the Chaos Emeralds work and a little more about Knuckles' civilization, and that gets carried forward a bit. In Sonic Adventure 2, we're introduced to Shadow and Rouge. Oh, yeah, and also in Adventure, Gamma exists, and that matters for later.
Yes.
By the time you get to Sonic Adventure 2, Rouge and Shadow were introduced, and they are mainstays going forward for everything that you deal with afterwards. By the time you get to Sonic Heroes, you're introduced to Omega, which is where all of that stuff with Gamma and Adventure is carried forward again, because this is Eggman going, this was my best robot series I ever made. Let me make the best version of that robot series, and sincerely hope that it doesn't turn on me, because Eggman did not realize, as far as I know, he had no way of knowing that Gamma ever turned on him. That was not a thing that he ever learned in Adventure 1, so he had no way of knowing that it would happen again if he used all of the same programming again with a new robot.
Unless Eggman, I guess, realized that Gamma destroyed all the E series. But
Yeah.
like Eggman probably just chalked that up to Sonic trashed them or something like that. Because like other than your fight with Sonic on the Egg Carrier, that's the only time that Eggman interacts with you aside from the beginning of that story.
True.
I think. Yeah.
There's the initial where he has you fight with Beta, the point where he sends you off to go get Froggy. You come back with Froggy, and then you have your fight with Sonic, and then he doesn't see you anymore after that. So I think he just assumes that Sonic trashed him.
Yep, that's it. And yeah, it's still a little fresh in my mind because I had that SA1 race, which I lost, but it's okay because I had fun. Were you there for that? Did you see that?
I was watching the conclusion of it over on Twitter, but I had not actually watched the race itself when it happened.
Oh, okay, yeah. So for those who don't know, which I don't know why any of you really would, but me and Emmy had a Sonic Adventure race. And it's something we planned for a while. We had a little meme going of like Team Emmy versus Team Trey, and that kind of like carried over to Sunset City a little bit as well. Like we try to make it just like as fun as possible. And she kicked my ass, dude, like straight up. Like I wasn't like, letting up or anything like that. It was like jet lag was getting a hold of me near the end because it was like 3 a.m. there, which is like 5 a.m. for my body. And I was like, you can even hear it at the end where it's just like, oh, Emmy did it. I was just so tired. But yeah, it was super fun. So I still have the story.
There wasn't a lot of Trey left at the end there.
There wasn't a lot. There was no Team Trey, but yeah, no, like I'm actually glad that she won because like the bets that we had in place, if she lost, like it would have been embarrassing for her, pretty much.
Oh, I'm not aware of what the bets were.
Okay, so
it can't be more embarrassing than Tails does Chug Jug.
Oh yeah, no. That's like one of our most popular videos. It was just a one-off thing. It makes me kind of mad because it's like we were just in stream and I was just playing like the chords, and she was like, "Hold on, I'm gonna." No. I told her, I was like, "Can you sing this in the Tails voice?" And she's like, "Hold on, I think I can."
Oh,
and we just did that on stream, and it has like over 200,000 views. I'm like, "Oh, is this what y'all want? Is this it?" Like,
Maria, this is what you wanted, right?
But
Chug Jug is my promise I made to you.
God. You're laughing? All those people died at Tomato Town? You're laughing?
Yes.
And you're laughing? But the bets
laughing.
were, if I lost, I would pay Emmy $50.
Okay.
Which is what happened. If she lost, she had to tweet about Rally for Sally.
Kind of wish you had won now, not gonna lie. kind of.
It was so like she agreed to it, so it's not like she was like unaware, right? But like near the ending of the race, because it was a close kind of race. Like we were both in the last story. I was at the scene with Takal while she was already at the boss fight, and we decided not to skip cutscenes for the race. We just decided to make it fair, and
Yeah.
she was getting so nervous at the end. But yeah, that was the bets. It was really funny, and I went and visited them in California, obviously. Super great, and we actually, and I won't say their name here, but we got to meet like one of the social media representatives of the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter.
Oh,
and
nice.
Yeah, and they were super cool, and
I'm glad you were able to meet Carl.
Oh yeah, definitely. Devin's great, but no. So we told them, because the race was like that night. We told them like what the bets were, and they looked over to Emmy and was like, "You better not lose." Pretty much.
Okay, I will not stand for this hatred for Sally. There is a 30% of the furry community was birthed because of Sally Acorn. Respect.
Deke. Thank Deke. Oh,
thank
man.
Deke. Thank Deke. Thank Archie. Jessa Proxy, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an ada. You fucking degenerate.
Stop that, please. Jesus. God. Can we have a counter at the top left this time about how uncomfortable I get every time Sirius says ada?
I can't, the thing is, though, I can't stop. It's chat. It's their fault. Blame them.
Can't stop addicted to the shit. Anyways, but yeah, no, it was super fun. And like, actually, funny enough, I know that like we're discussing like Sonic the Hedgehog, but I guess we're just like going over points. Was there like any kind of structure that you wanted to do this in, or is this just mainly just talking and going over key points?
So the real answer is there is no structure. I mainly wanted to keep things to about an hour or so. We're at 36 minutes. We're fine.
Okay.
But the real thing is this is also a test run. This is a pilot episode to see how this series is going to work and if I need to improve it going forward. So we'll see. Congratulations, Trey. You are today's guinea pig.
Hey, yes, just like my parents did to me whenever I was the firstborn. Anyways,
you were the bio lizard for your parents.
God, man, I was the throwaway ultimate life form.
The prototype for the ultimate musician.
Yeah. I'm the only musician in my family, funny enough, so it works out. Took all of y'all's talents, whatever. You can't stop me. But anyway, but I guess to go back, I just wanted to make sure in terms of like structure or anything, if you want to like ask questions, like key points, stuff like that. I didn't know if you had like basically like bullet points and whatnot, and I didn't want to deviate too far, pretty much. But I guess to go back to like what we were talking about, I got to finally, after like 4 years of working with Emmy and Dorian and all of them at Sonic and Tails R, as well as just like music stuff in general, I finally got to meet them for the first time a couple weeks back, and it was an incredible time. They're super nice people. I was very nervous, not gonna lie, mainly because like, and I knew that Emmy wasn't gonna be like this, but there have been times where I meet online friends and they end up being kind of different than what they've let themselves on to be. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I've had the same. I've had the same experience where like there was a League of Legends buddy of mine, and we met up at a card shop after like having played like the game with each other for like 6 months. And when we met up, dude straight up just like he was there for maybe 10 minutes and then was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go play Where's the Pot Seller? I'm leaving. Bye." I was like, "What?"
Wow. Okay,
I'm just like,
dude.
It's like, okay. I mean,
all right,
fair, but also, like I thought we were hanging out today. But I mean, if you want to, go feck off, I guess, sure, why not?
Yeah, I guess so, man. Yeah, no, thankfully, like, I flew there, so they were stuck with me. So even if they didn't want me to be there, I was. But no, it was a fun time. My birthday also landed on that week, so we got to celebrate my birthday as well. And yeah, it was. I can't wait to go back. Pretty much, there's a lot of people I got to meet, more than I thought I would actually, and I'd love to visit again, and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll be able to again at some point, and hopefully it will be under a Sonic Adventure 2 fight.
That's
which you
that
will
like
promptly lose again.
I don't know about that. I'm going. Here's the thing: Sonic Adventure is my baby. That's my favorite. But Sonic Adventure 2 is the game I played the most as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even then, like I still, like I'm able to beat it pretty much. I know, even though I like Sonic Adventure more, I know Sonic Adventure 2 better. So, I'm hoping that'll give me a little bit more of an advantage this time around, because Emmy knew how to blow through Tales' story in Sonic Adventure in like 5 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how? Like, she knows Sonic Adventure. Yeah.
And you got your ass beat.
Yep. Out
of curiosity, did you guys do it? Did you guys do a 100% run of Sonic Adventure, or was it?
No.
Was it just
no,
Sonic
no, no,
Story?
Oh well. Whenever you said 100%, I thought you meant.
I meant like all six stories and the Perfect Chaos boss fight.
Yes, we did do all the stories.
Okay.
Yes. So I had a plan to where I was doing like the longest stories first, and then went to the shortest stories. So I started with Sonic, went to Knuckles, then I think Gamma, then Big because I wanted to get that out of the way. Amy, then Tails. Amy did Sonic Story up until she unlocked Tails, and then did Tails like super quick. Then did Knuckles super quick. While I was still on Sonic Story, but then I ended up catching up because I had a lot of good RNG in Knuckles' parts.
To say Knuckles and Big are like the two areas where RNG hurts you the most.
Yes. Thankfully for Big, it wasn't that bad. Like I thought Hot Shelter was going to kick my ass. Thankfully, I was in and out of that level in like, I want to say 2 minutes, which I'm like, thank God, because I do not want to be stuck there for longer than like 3 minutes. That would have been embarrassing, considering I was streaming my side as well, while she was streaming her side. So like people were like going back and forth, and you know what the fucked up thing is that people would go into my chat, then tell Emmy where I was, but not many people did that for me.
People like Emmy more than you. You just have to deal with it.
That's fine. She just broke 50K, which is awesome. She did, she's fucking phenomenal. She's great and everything. But like, I'm likable. Am I likable, Cirrus?
When was the last time we played Monster Hunter?
I'm still a higher level than Nick. That's all I care about. I know he hasn't touched that game for like months.
Not untrue. He's been busy trying to get his Psychonauts footage finished up, but
oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, apparently something taking his time off work is getting very difficult for him to do. So right. I guess we know what brought you into the fandom. For me, it was Sonic Adventure 2 is what got me into it. Like I played Sonic 2 when I was a kid, but I didn't own it because I never owned a Genesis.
Right.
My first Sonic game that I ever owned myself was Sonic Advance. After Advance, I played Adventure 2. Advance was like the game that made me go, okay, I'm happy I have a Sonic game, but Adventure 2 was the game that made me start talking about Sonic.
Yep.
And I got it first on my GameCube, and I know that there's like a fun stigma in the Sonic community for like all of the people who started during the GameCube era, where they're just like, oh yeah, you know who... There's like, yeah, you don't know what the real Sonic is. You didn't play the Genesis classics. Like, yeah, the Mega Collection exists. Shut up, kid. Yes, I did. Jesus Christ.
It's funny because like I this kind of pissed me off because I went into a retro game store, and Sonic Adventure 2 for the Dreamcast now costs $110. I'm like, why? Why does it cost that much? Like, makes no sense.
I mean, old classic games generally do end up selling for a whole bunch. Like, that's pretty normal. Like, I don't like it, but it's pretty normal.
I guess it's normal, but like for me, it's like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were like those were like pseudo system sellers, especially the first one was, right?
Yeah.
The first, and that game goes for like $60 now, and it's like I thought, I don't know, like the Dreamcast is getting way more desirable than what it was like, whenever I was a kid, so it makes sense. That's why you see GameCube games just like shooting through the roof now.
Oh yeah.
But still, it makes no sense to me, because anytime I tell someone to get into Dreamcast gaming, I used to go, okay, get Jet Set Radio and the first 2 adventure games, and then go from there. But now I can't do that, because all those games cost about, like, on average, $100 each, and like a Dreamcast now costs around like $80 without all the bells and whistles. Saying like without a VMU card and all that other stuff as well, and so now it's just like, man, like I want more people to play this system. It's a great system, and now like it's getting like less accessible. And I just hope that, I don't know, Sega starts porting more Dreamcast stuff over just for preservation's sake.
So long as they don't do port jobs like they did with the Adventure 1 and 2 ports, because I'm sorry, the Steam ports of Adventure 1 and 2 just
they're god awful. They are.
They
okay.
Really are.
I'm not gonna say they're god awful. They're still playable. They're still fine. But
my issue is, though, there are fundamental things with those games that are very broken that shouldn't be. Like Adventure 1 should not have those blue bars on the side. That game should be able to go in widescreen. There's zero reason that game should not be able to do that. Adventure 2, it is painful. It is physically painful. Even with Adventure 2 being one of my favorite games of all time, it is physically painful to play the mech stages in the Steam version of that game. Because the audio for the laser beam is amplified so high.
I don't know why. Okay, so like me being a producer as well as a musician, sound engineer, all that stuff, like it doesn't make any sense why, because the original Dreamcast game, Sonic Adventure 2, had audio issues. Adventure 2 Battle had audio issues. They made them somehow worse for no reason in the Steam version. I don't know what happened. I don't know what excuse they would have, but like it's baffling to like hear like the voices getting drowned out even more. The like laser like sound like all throughout the mech stages, like it makes no sense. And this is coming from someone where Sonic Adventure 2's soundtrack and voice direction is some of my favorite in the series. But it's just like the mixing is just so bad. Like, and it's not just exclusive to the Steam version. I feel like all the versions are pretty like, subpar in terms of just overall mixing in terms of scenery and stuff like that. And I actually learned a good bit from Sonic and Tails R as to how that stuff works.
Yeah.
So it's weird now going back to Adventure 2 and hearing all these like hiccups and all of these just like audio issues that could have been just so easily fixed. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make much sense to me.
It's, to me, I think it's just laziness. That's what it really is to me, because it's stuff that like fans have been able to fix very, very easy. And this is an issue that Sega's had for a while with Sonic, and I don't like the fact that this is the case, but Sega's been super laissez-faire with Sonic for
straight up
ages now. And I did just watch the Geek Critiques video about Sonic Jam, and I think I kind of get it a little bit now. During the Saturn era, Sega of Japan was basically doing fine without Sonic at all. Like, and Sega of Japan ultimately, like, they're the bigwigs that make, they're the ones that can make more decisions.
They're the ones who make the games. Like Sega of America is just a glorified cheerleader almost for what Sega Japan is doing, pretty much.
And so, like, when I got that bit of information, like, this is one of the reasons why Sega doesn't care about Sonic, because they've been doing fine without Sonic for so long. And then even with Sonic, the Dreamcast just failed in most areas. So I'm like, I can kind of understand why it's a budget franchise for them now, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that I like that. It doesn't mean that I'm happy about that.
Well, it doesn't make sense because Sonic is still considered Sega's mascot and still considered like the golden goose. It would be different if Sonic no longer had the role of being the main mascot and was just another franchise like Yakuza or, you know, something like that, right? And like, it would be different. It would be different in that way. But since Sonic is considered still the mascot, it's still considered the most famous thing across the board that they have, I don't know. It's like, why not take care of your boy a little bit better, even if in your home country Sonic doesn't do well by proxy? You know, it's like, think of the bigger picture, not just because like, and I'm pretty sure it mentioned that in the Geek Critique video, but like the Saturn was Sega's best-selling console in Japan.
Yeah.
I have to specify in Japan. Everywhere else it kind of flopped, but in Japan, like the Sega Saturn was the best-selling console.
To be fair, though, they had a really, really good marketing campaign in Japan. I don't remember the guy's name, but there was like the guy who was like famous for selling Sega Saturns for their commercials, and we didn't have a similar thing like that here in America.
Hold on, I forgot what his name. I'm looking up right now. Is it Sagata Senshiro? I think is what it is.
I think so. But I remember I remember seeing the advertisements that were done with him. I'm like, no, that's something that in the 90s would probably have sold consoles over here had we had the same kind of like wacky campaigns going on. But we just didn't. And I mean, it's not like we haven't had similar issues where like Nintendo, despite being the big juggernaut that they are, released the Wii U to like literal critical failure. Like it's not the first nor the last time we're gonna have marketing blunders. Yeah, I do think that's who you're talking about, Sagata Senshiro.
Yep. There was like a whole jingle as well. I forgot like the jingle. I'm pretty sure it's just the guy's name, and they just kind of chant it musically over like this very like kind of bombastic music while he's carrying a massive Sega Saturn on his back.
Yeah, and I think for me, I wish that I had like I love the Sonic series, and I still come back to it. Like, I'm going to play Sonic Rangers when that comes out. I'm going to do...
I hope it's not called that, for the love of God. Sorry to interrupt. I hate the name Sonic Rangers, and like, I'm glad it's not going to be called that.
You think that. You think that. Working titles can sometimes become the actual titles.
No, I know it's not going to be it. I will bet money on it.
The last time you bet money, you lost.
Well, this time it's not on me.
That sounds like a gambling problem, my friend. Maybe you shouldn't do that. Trey, this is an intervention. Look,
I swear to God, if you take away those quarter machines again from me, I'm going to lose it.
No, what you're going to lose is your wallet if I don't take them away. I'm coming. This is as far as I can lean my avatar.
What? those... I can't even lean my avatar. I'm 2D. I'm just bouncing.
I'm 2D as well. This is a 2D avatar. I just have range of motion.
Yeah, I don't have range of motion. I'm stuck.
Maybe you should try better next time.
Like, I'll stretch next time before another interview. Oh, man. No, we were at like a little bit of a side, not really tangent, but a little bit of a side thing. We went to this arcade in California called Round One, and they had a circle of those little like quarter machines where you just put quarters in, and they push out other quarters. And me and Emmy were at that for like probably an hour. We looked like old people, just like sitting on the stools, just putting quarters into this machine. But it was like so much fun. So yeah, I probably do have a gambling problem.
Never get into trading card games.
Yeah, no. Oh gosh, I was into Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, and yeah, like. Probably best that I got out of that.
I am playing Magic the Gathering right now, as well as Pokemon, as well as Digimon. So,
jeez, you're juggling like 3 different franchises right now. It's crazy.
To be fair, though, with all of those, I've played card games long enough to know to like look up decks that are working and buy the cards individually, because like. It costs as much for an Elite Trainer box of Pokemon cards as it does to just buy a Gardevoir deck outright. So I'm just like, we're just gonna... If I'm gonna spend $40 on Pokemon, I'm gonna spend $40 on a single deck and use that. I'll be able to have just as much fun. Cracking PSA to everybody, cracking booster packs, don't do it. Never crack packs. Don't Get your cards individually. Go watch YouTube videos to tell you what cards to get. But don't crack packs. I'm sorry. There's been a PSA to anybody who has gambling problems. Don't crack packs.
Don't crack. Or
crack
or packs.
Crack kills.
Crack kills. Crack pack kills.
Imagine if we got a Sonic the Hedgehog trading card game.
There was Sonic X trading cards. It wasn't a game, but they did exist.
I mean, yeah, but that was during the era where everything got trading cards. It didn't mean that they got games.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. I'd be down for that, honestly. Like a trading card game, like centered around the Sonic franchise, or even subsequent Sega franchises like Jet Set Radio or Crazy Taxi or Monkey Ball. That'd be dope.
What kind of deck would you build for a Sonic game? Like let's say that they had the decks built in such a way where, like, if you were playing, you had to your deck had to be built around at least one character, if not two. Like they'd have some kind of mechanic where, like, you can't play the cards unless you have the character in play or something. What kind of deck would you go for? Because I would make an Omega deck. I could just imagine a card game taking his game mechanics and just giving you, like, all kinds of modular equipment to just mow people down in the card game.
That's a good pick. I would do Emerald from Sonic Battle.
Oh,
I'll do a deck around Emerald.
Emerald. How much you want to bet his cards would say something like create a token that is a copy of an enemy's attack card or something like that.
I was actually gonna say, like, anytime that Emerald gets attacked, he learns that attack. So you have to keep healing him, which could drain your heals and everything. But if he keeps getting attacked, he would just gain more and more abilities, get stronger, like, as time went on. So I'd definitely build a deck around Emerald, like, for sure.
Emerald would be such a hard character to actually, like, mechanically make a game around. But you know what?
Yes.
You know what? I bet we could make it work. I bet if we made, like, a fan-made starter set where, like, every character had at least, 15 cards, right? There are 15 cards per character. Have a deck be 40, 45 cards. However large you have to make the deck to where it's, like, you can't just cheese a game, but also there's still an aspect of RNG.
Mm-hmm.
I bet...
Yeah, that would be cool.
I bet there would be a way of doing that. And, like... You could play up to 2 characters in the deck. God damn it. You know what I'm actually making at this point on accident? I just realized what game I'm designing in my head. I'm designing Legends of Runeterra in my head. Fuck me. Because that's what that game does with League of Legends. That's exactly what it does.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It makes you play a handful of characters from the game, and the characters that you play lock you into certain cards. Like, you can only use Demacian cards if you're playing as Garen or Lux, etc. I'm just designing Legends of Runeterra in my head. God damn it.
Sonic Legends of Rune. Now, that's a better name than Sonic Rangers.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Legends of Runeterra. Wait, no. Don't let the Sonic and the League of Legends communities mix.
Oh, gosh.
No, don't.
Hell no. Like, everyone that I talked to is like, because I've never played League. Yeah. And, like, there was, like, one time where I got, like, a little bit of interest. It's like, I'll see what this is all about. And my friends were like, don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm like, what's going on? It's like, the community is absolute garbage.
Okay.
I'm like, oh.
Can you handle the Sonic community?
I can handle it when I'm not in it all the time.
Okay, so I'll say this. If you can handle the toxicity of the Sonic community, you can handle the toxicity of the League community. The Sonic community is actually worse, in my opinion.
You think so? Like,
I think so, because here's the thing. With League, the toxicity comes in short bursts. There are people who will get mad at you in one game. They'll get mad at a play you did, and you can mute that person in the middle of the game, just ignore them for the rest of the game. Right. The Sonic community, on the other hand, is like this ever-present Goliath. All you have to do is say, Ken Penders, on Twitter, and suddenly you've created a gelatinous mountain of discourse that is impenetrable and will be ever-present. Like, you'll go to sleep, you'll come back, and there will be 100 more responses on those Twitter threads, and you'll just be like, okay, I'm done.
That's true. Also, Rally for Sally does the same effect.
Yeah, but to be fair, everybody like Rally for Sally is the moral, objectively correct phrase.
Honestly, though, and like, again, I'm not putting words in anyone's mouth. I think Rally for Sally is like one of the main reasons why Sally just isn't coming back now.
I just don't think Sally was coming back at all, period.
Oh, I don't think Sally was coming back at all, but now it's like even more so considering like spam and like possible harassment, stuff like that surrounding that movement. Even though I do like think that like Rally for Sally isn't a bad movement or anything. For a lot of people, we just
want our chipmunk back. We are all simp monks. Furry or not, we want them back.
I understand. You're all old. You haven't, figured out what love is. It's okay.
Okay.
No, I'm just...
You realize the person on this platform with the largest Sally video of all time has a wife, right?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He had to settle. It's fine. Couldn't have Sally, so might as well get a wife, Might as well start a family. Can't have Sally.
All right. I'm walking
kidding.
out.
Just don't walk. You're the one that can move. I'm still stuck here.
You will always be stuck in this Aether.
Oh,
there is no other way.
No, but yeah, no. And that video's phenomenal. Like Nick's video on Sally. It's actually like really great. Love that video.
You have to just suck his toes real quick at the end of that, didn't you?
Like always. Like here's how me and Nick work. Nick will say like "fuck you, Trey, I hate you," and then I'll say "love you too, boo," and there you go. That's our relationship.
Yep.
Like in a nutshell.
Not untrue. That's his relationship with everyone. To be fair.
True. Yeah, but I feel like it's even more for me. But yeah. What were we talking about before?
We were talking about trading cards. We were talking about blue hedgehogs and trading cards, but we are at the hour, so we are going to have to wrap up here in just a little bit.
Okay.
That said, if Nick ends up watching this video later, hi, how are you?
Nick, I love you, please.
Trey said the bad things, not me.
No, that's... Please don't chastise me. Don't unfollow me from Twitter. I need your validation.
Oh my god.
Love you, boo. But anyways, is there any more questions that you had, I guess, before we wrap up?
I guess really, I guess not really, because my thing is that I wanted to get not just, conversation about a particular game series. For this one, it's Sonic, because I just can't escape that.
Right.
But I also wanted to just get, like, conversations about our personal experiences where that series is concerned, like how we felt about certain things. And really, Sonic is such a massive series that you can go on and on for hours. Only having I guess this is why Sunset City is on like almost episode 30 now, and we're still going.
Oh yeah, there's so much. Yeah, there's so much content. There's just so much, like, let's say if news doesn't happen one week, there's some discourse or some like kind of like discussion that y'all could just have within the franchise itself, where like y'all could literally have an episode about the pros and cons of Adventure and Boost and which one's better or worse and stuff like that, and you'd be able to fill like 3 hours easily. But yeah, actually, I had a question for you, Cyrus.
Sure thing.
Well, actually, two. One, what's your favorite song in the franchise? And two, what's your preferred genre, like style of music in the franchise?
All right, so maybe it's the adventure fan in me. Oh wow, no, you guys need to stop. Growlithe and Chip are just having their fun over there. So I'm gonna be honest. I absolutely love the butt rock in the franchise.
Yes.
I do. I cannot express how much I enjoy that. And it's probably because I grew up with it. Like, I remember when the True Blue soundtrack came out, and I listened to the Bentley Jones remix of Open Your Heart for the first time. And I just remember feeling like almost euphoric at that soundtrack. Secondarily,
yep.
If anybody here has not listened to like a majority of Bentley Jones's stuff, his stuff is fucking phenomenal.
Oh, it's fantastic, and like even outside of the franchise, it's still great stuff.
Oh,
I recommend it to anyone.
They've got a really good Devil Trigger remix.
Yeah, it sounds so good. I want to cover it one day. I really do.
Well, just get on that then. Just do that.
I will. Finally got my soundboard working after like a week of troubleshooting. So hopefully, don't go to audio engineering, kids. It's a mess of cables and sadness and money just lost. But yeah, no. Bentley Jones is incredible, respectful musician. Love their stuff.
110%. I agree. But I guess like this, I know that it's an unpopular opinion outside of like the adventure fans that butt rock is such a fun thing, but I just enjoy that aspect of the franchise so much. If I had to list a favorite song in the franchise, I've got two. One of them is Dreams of an Absolution. That's probably my most favorite one of the entire series.
It's a good one.
Not to mention, it's weird. I never paid attention to the lyrics so much until I started my channel. And then when I started my channel, I was like, oh, wait, hold on. This is actually kind of relevant to what I do on my main channel. Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Like,
well, not oh, no, but like...
Like, the lyrics of Dreams of an Absolution literally talk about, like, nobody knows the future, preachers are lying to you about it, shit like that. I was like, what? This isn't a Sonic game? Oh, my God.
That's funny. I don't know. Well, first you go with your second favorite first, and then I'll piggyback what you said.
My second favorite, God, this one's almost embarrassing to say, but the more I listen to it, the more Infinite's theme, like, it's a tie between
Infinite's theme.
It's a tie between Infinite's theme and Live and Learn. Like, Live and Learn is the one that I unironically love, and it's second only to Dreams of an Absolution. But if I'm gonna put in like an ironic, like if I'm gonna put something that like it's not good, but I keep coming back to it, it's the theme of Infinite, and I know that that's just like cringy as hell. But...
Well, I like the song is actually like pretty like well structured in terms of melody. Like that's actually been proven with the Sonic Symphony, who did like an orchestrated version of that theme, and it sounded very like menacing and like it just like had this different feel to it. Like, and of course orchestra just does that by proxy, but
yeah,
it was especially prevalent with Infinite's theme, because like you think of this as like the edgiest song of all time, like, you know, whatever, but like you hear it put to an orchestra and it's like, oh shit, this guy is like serious. Like this is some serious like stuff going down. Like it's like dignified almost, where Infinite's theme was almost like kind of like, I wouldn't say laughable, but almost like it was just like, okay, this just seems like a kid trying to make you scared of him.
He's trying his best in the original
He's trying
version.
his hardest.
But yeah, no, when you listen to that theme in the Sega Orchestra, you're like, oh, this is what we could have gotten for a final boss.
Got like throughout that whole thing, I love the Sonic Symphony. I actually bought it on iTunes, and I hope they make a physical version, because I'm gonna rebuy it till, you know, they stop selling it. But I don't know, I got goosebumps like throughout the whole thing, and especially in Infinite's theme, I was like, ooh, and like you just feel a chill down your spine. It like I was like, that's the tone I really want out of a villain. Is like that kind of like sinister, kind of menacing, foreboding type of tone.
If you
and
had
dignified.
like Infinite treated the same way that Jim Cummings' Dr. Robotnik was treated in Sad AM, that's the theme that would have followed him.
Oh yeah, and like Infinite would have been like one of my favorite villains if they went with that tone. Like, in all honesty, like, because I actually do like Infinite's design. I like Infinite's character design a good bit, and I thought it would, you know, be perfect for like a dignified villain. Then they just didn't go that route, and it kind of made me mad, and that's why you see a lot of people saying that Infinite should get a second shot. I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be cool to see Infinite actually get, you know, a second shot at being a decent villain. you know. So
he had potential to be a decent villain, and that's the thing that sucks. Because he was the one time, or the first time that I was like, I'm gonna make Sonic content on my main channel. Hold on, I did a whole video like going into my problems with Infinite, and I kept on having to compare him to Mephiles because I was like, this feels like a design team took Mephiles and decided to make him not imposing but edgy. Because like,
yeah.
Also, Dircher says, "Behold the Herald of Hannah." How's it going? But like when I see a character like Mephiles, anytime they're on screen, if you don't know what's going on in that story, it feels, God, holy shit. Hannah, thank you so much for the raid. That is a massive raid of 253 people. Jesus Christ.
Yo,
holy
hello,
fuck.
everyone.
We are currently talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, which I know is a favorite topic of Hannah to bring up around me for some reason.
And they left. All of them left.
Nope.
Oh, shit. I'm kidding. It's like we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, and they're all gone.
They're just like, yeet,
well,
I'm out. But no, with like Infinite, when he's on screen, the first thing I want is for him to get off screen. I want him gone. I'm just like, no, I just want to take that character, I want to shove their head into the pavement and be like, you are weak. But with Mephiles, when he's on screen, my first reaction isn't that I want him gone because I'm tired of dealing with him. My reaction is, I want you gone because when you're here, anything can happen, and that's terrifying. You could end up in a different timeline. You could end up attacking your best friends. You could end up flat up fucking dead. And that's like such a... It's weird that a Sonic villain does that. But I think that's what Mephiles does. And it makes Infinite that much more depressing.
Never. Yeah, and Infinite didn't even need to go that hard, right? It just needed to be just dignified. And like... Because like the biggest thing with no, I'm not gonna use the F word, but forces. I'll use it once. But it always happens considering Rangers isn't out yet. So in Colors Ultimate was, yeah. How do you feel about Colors Ultimate? Like side note, how'd you feel about it?
Painfully mediocre. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, is it a bad game? No. Is it the game that I would hand somebody as their first Sonic game though?
Me, no. Straight up. That's easy.
I would rather hand them like Sonic 2 or Mania, or if I can give them a proper caveat, I'll give them Adventure 2 or Unleashed. Like, I would... Like, Colors to me just doesn't feel Sonic. Like 20% of that game feels like a Sonic game, and the rest of it feels like a very, very budget Mario title. And
It's... Like, it's... And I hate when... You know, not hate, right? But I don't like it when people kind of say that Colors is a good, like, kind of starter. Because I'm like, no, the design philosophies in Colors don't mirror what the Sonic series does as a whole. Even Generations, the 2 years after this game came out, you know, does the formula of Sonic so much better. And all that stuff.
Generations feels much more confident with what Sonic is than... Right. You know, than what you get with Colors. And like I don't dislike Colors, but when I finished playing Colors, and then when I talked about it on the Necosaurus channel, the one feeling that I had was like, I don't know if I like this game anymore. Like I loved it when I was younger, but now that I've played stuff like Generations, even Lost World, I think I enjoy more than Colors. And that's a real weird feeling, because like...
That's a stretch for me. Lost World will always be bottom tier. I don't like Lost World at all.
Understandable. Fairy...
It's just...
You're going to hate me. You're going to hate me, Trey. Fairy Princess Alexandrite, thank you for redeeming your 1,000 points for an Arara. You fucking monster.
I swear to fuck. I'm wearing headphones. These are Bose Quiet Comfort 35s. And I'm hearing... in my fucking ears.
Wait, Trey. Are you telling me you're not comfortable?
I am not. And the moment that I start getting comfortable is when it gets scary.
It's like playing Sonic 06. The minute you start enjoying it, you know that something fundamentally has changed. Something has shifted.
Your eyes start darting back and forth like, what the fuck?
I also wanted to say, I need to scroll up just a little bit. Thank you very much, Cold Stare, for the 5 gifted Tier 1 subs. Greatly appreciated. And also, Mike Max, thank you for the 20 bits. I'm going to go ahead and quote the exact thing that they said with their 20 bits. They said, "I'm the tallest of mountains. I'm the roughest of waves. I'm the toughest of terrors. I am the darkest of days."
Should I just start playing drums right now?
Do you do you have anything handy to do that, to close us off with a song?
I have actual drums in my house.
You know what? You know what? Here, we'll close things off. We'll let everybody know where to find you, and then if you want to close us off with some music, then we will do that. Also, just a brief reminder, everybody, if you have not gone and subbed over to Trey Noble's channel, he does tons of wonderful music over there and is also responsible for music on other projects that if you're a Sonic fan, you've probably listened to.
Sorry, that was the... that was the naughty theme. Anyways,
that was the naughty theme.
The like a. There we go.
Is that the real Rally for Sally?
Oh yeah, it's I consider it a hub. It's a nice hub area.
Hub worlds really need to return back to the Sonic series.
Oh God. Oh man, but I guess we are at the tail end of everything. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we send off?
I'll just go ahead and reiterate, anybody who happens to be watching over on this end, I guess I'll just call attention again. Please go fucking sub to Trey. Dude only has 1,000 subs, and he deserves way more. His music's wonderful.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
He at least deserves it for the torture I, and by proxy the entire chat, has put him through today.
For every Ada, I should get like 10 subs.
Not untrue. Not untrue. For every single one. And so if you look, he's at 1,050 subs right now. Wolf of Pac-Man, thank you very much for the follow. Speak the truth, thank you for the follow as well. But if he happens to hit 1,100 subs during the course of this, then I will give you all a free Ara, just because it will make Trey uncomfortable.
I thought you were gonna give him the U word.
No, nobody gets that for free.
Okay,
nobody gets that for free. There's an entire war that takes place when that happens.
Hey, yeah, you gotta know your value. I understand.
Completely. 110%. Well, that said, I think Gabi MP4, thank you very much for following, especially with one of my favorite formats. With that said, Trey, if you want to sound us off, and if there's anything else you want to say before you hop out, at least before the recording portion's over.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you, Cirrus, for having me on your stream, as well as your channel, Neko Cirrus. It's actually we planned this for a little bit, and yeah, it's great to finally be here. And I'm actually very thankful that my Wi-Fi isn't crapping the bed for the past like 40 minutes. That's great. It's a new record. But yeah, thank you for having me on. Love talking about this stuff, and yeah, that's it. Thank you all for tuning in.
Alrighty. Well, remember to go sub over to Trey if you haven't already, and if you haven't subbed over at Sunset City or over on this channel by proxy, please consider doing so. I'm not going to go channel pup on you and try to get pity subs, but definitely going for pity subs regardless.
Bro, I go for pity subs. That's how I got to 1K in the first place, where everyone was just like, go sub to Trey, and then people were like, I guess. And now that's just where I'm at right now.
Jesus. All right. Well, sound us off with whatever music you'd like to sound us off with.
Hold on. I'm going to do my guitar this time because I play drums.
I'm going to go ahead and turn off the background music for a second. The Professor Omochow music was playing in the background.
Oh, nice. Okay. Let me grab it real quick. Let's just hope this is tuned. I haven't tuned it today, I don't think, but let me just see. That seems fine. All right. Messed up a little bit at the end, but it's fine.
So, hey, thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. If you want access to behind-the-scenes content for the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon. I do weekly vlogs over there, where I give real-life updates to what's going on behind the scenes on the channel, stuff that you don't really get over here, and even on Twitch. Patreon also helps the channel's stability a whole lot. Without Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. Especially with the kind of content that I do, neither YouTube nor Twitch are the most stable sources of income. If you are a $20 and up patron, then you will be featured on the ending slides as shown in the beginning of the end credits. If you want to catch the streams where all this content comes from, then consider heading over to Twitch and following. And if you want to continue watching over here on YouTube, maybe consider clicking one of the end screen videos. And once again, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me over on my channel. I wouldn't be able to do literally anything that I'm doing over here on YouTube without each and every one of you. So, thank you.